Hey guys, it is me, Jeannette, aka Sweet Jean. I just got in my car. I was at my oncologist's office getting my orders for chemo because I need to go this Friday for chemo. I went on the 3rd of March. April. And I went on the 27th of March. So those are 2 weeks in a row. And then I was off last Friday. That was my off week. And then, sorry, I'm taking the sticker off that they gave me. Pre-screened. Yes, 4:15. And so I need to go this Friday. So for those of you that are new, I have stage 4 advanced metastatic triple positive breast cancer. And I get chemo every Friday. But every third Friday, I'm off of it, or they skip it. So let me take these off too. So anyhow, so I have to come see my doctor every 3 weeks to get new orders to have my chemo done at the hospital, because there was a mix-up with my insurance again and my deductible, which my new insurance, I think it's just the Medicare deductible that I have to pay, but there were some issues in December and early January that caused me to have a large amount due for the chemo that they gave me, because apparently I came in for a visit, they gave me chemo, they got the authorization, but they didn't realize that I hadn't not met my deductible or something, and so now I have to pay for that chemo that they gave me, which I think I need to sit down and talk to the financial counselors, like supervisor or the manager, because I even emailed my personal financial counselor here, and I told her, I said, I have an appointment tomorrow. What is going to be my responsibility? Because I knew that they were trying to find programs to try and help pay for my balance from my deductible from last year and the deductible for this year. But there was a whole deal with the lapse of my insurance from last year, which had termed in October. And then so November and December I was without insurance, and then January I started up my new insurance, and it was just this whole big ordeal. Anyways, so I need to sit down and talk to her and say, I emailed my financial counselor. I knew that they were trying to find programs that would help cover like a copay assist or a co-insurance assistance program. So I emailed her and asked her what my responsibility would be, because I had an appointment the following day, and she emailed me back, and I'm glad that I still have that email. And she said no, that I only had my $50 copay. So then I came, and then it's like, well, we didn't get they got the authorization, but they didn't realize that I had a balance, or that I would have to pay a certain amount because I hadn't met my deductible, and there was a lapse in the insurance. And so I don't think that should be, I'm an adult and I know I need to pay my bills, but I feel like I reached out to them and asked them, hey, I have an appointment tomorrow, and then they reached back by email saying no, it's only $50. And then it's like, oh no, I'm sorry, we made a mistake, you owe $3,000 because your chemo is $3,000, and we didn't get that particular chemo pre-authorized, or we didn't get an authorization or whatever for the actual chemo. They only got it for the labs and for the doctor visit. So I don't see how that's my fault. Like, their mistake and their problem shouldn't be put on me. Like, they're making their problem my problem. Wow, I didn't even realize this video was going to turn into a rant, so I do apologize. Things have a way of working themselves out, and I just have to trust that if I just try and be proactive, then hopefully something will come out of it positive. There's always a silver lining. Sometimes it's really hard to find. I'm getting emotional. God, my star sign is Cancer, and we're just very emotional beings, and we're very in tune with our emotions, and we can sometimes, it could be what do you call it, not detrimental, but we're just emotional people. At least I am. Anyhow, so I got I don't have the actual physical orders, because what they're doing is they're going to fax over the order, and then they're also going to request a CT scan of the upper and lower, like from my neck down to my pelvic area, because I get a CT every 3 months to compare with the last CT. And so anyhow, so I'm gonna get a CT because I do one every 3 months. The last one was January 24th. So got my fingers crossed, and I'm hoping and praying that there's no progression and no growth in the cancer cells and the cancer little masses and whatever, because I do have cancer. For those of you that don't know or that are new to the channel, because I've gotten a couple of new people, I do have breast cancer. So I do have a lump in my breast still. So I have that. I have breast cancer cells in my lymph nodes, in both my lungs, my liver, the lining of my abdomen, and I have it in my bones, and more specifically in my spine, in the back of my neck, and in between my shoulder blades. And so I had to have major spinal surgery to avoid paralysis. So I have chronic pain every day, which is controlled by medication that helps me live a fairly functional life. But you know, I've just learned to live with the pain that I have, which, like I said, is controlled with medication, and I wish it didn't have to be, but that's just the way it is. I hope all you guys are staying safe. I hope you're practicing social distancing. I hope all of you guys are healthy. You guys are always on my mind, in my thoughts, in my heart, and in my prayers. So yeah, I'm doing okay as far as the CV19, which I don't want to say it because YouTube is kind of funny with its analytics when you say the C word with the 19 at the end. But I'm sure all of you guys know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I'm gonna have chemo. Today's Wednesday. I have chemo on Friday at the hospital. It's typically an all-day thing. I get there at 8 in the morning, and I usually don't leave till like that evening when it's dark, and sometimes I have to spend the night, depending on my labs, if I have to have a blood transfusion because I have very low blood cell count. And then sometimes she orders like a saline, normal saline, I guess that's what it is, and that has to drip within a certain amount of hours pre-chemo and then post-chemo. So that is a big chunk of the day, and sometimes I'm not done till after midnight, and then they tell me just to spend the night, because I'm usually dropped off, and my mom, I don't want her driving on Friday night past 12 midnight. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That is my little update as far as the symptoms that I had. Typical stomach aches that come and go, stomach cramping, stomach twisting, a bit of nausea, which I have medication for, anxiety. I have a hard time sleeping. When I do finally fall asleep, it's usually very early in the morning, and then I'm asleep well into like 11 a.m., 12 o'clock in the afternoon sometimes. My days are off, and then especially now that we're self-quarantining ourselves. Self-quarantine? I don't know. You guys know what I mean. Now that we're staying at home and not leaving the home unless absolutely positively necessary, like for doctor's appointments or to get groceries or what have you. My days and nights are all mixed up, which I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. And then just naturally a homebody already as it is, but I'm getting, I get cabin fever. It's like I just want to get in the car and just drive around just to get some air, like get on the highway and drive, just to get some sun and get some fresh air and get out, instead of staying in. Like, I'm getting cabin fever, I'm going stir crazy. And there's a couple of relationships in my life that are up and down, and they're kind of personal, but it does wear on me. One of them is a family member that I haven't spoken to since August. And another is a close friend that I haven't spoken to in a few weeks, and I'm not really sure what's going to happen with those two relationships. I would like to salvage both, but it may only be one for the time being. And it's like times like this that we're in that makes you appreciate your life, and that you have a life, and that you're not sick, and that you're not in the hospital with what's going on right now. People are losing family members and friends to this pandemic, and it just makes you appreciate what you have and who's in your life and who supports you. But anywho, I think that's pretty much it. I want to thank all you guys for always supporting me. There's a lady walking her dog. How cute. I don't know if you could see. It's like a golden retriever. Anywho, I didn't even realize how close you guys were. I probably had my mug all up in this camera. Anyhow, thank you guys for the support. For all of you that have been with me from the beginning, thank you so much. For all of you new people, thank you for giving me a chance. And if you're not already and you'd like to be, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you as part of my little community here. Everybody is always so supportive and nice, and I very much really appreciate that. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Okay.